everybody. It's Jennifer from the patio. Thank you for popping in. Today on Let's Get to Craftin', I am going to make a beautiful pop-up card for Mother's Day. See, this is how you put it together, and then when we put it in the mail in an envelope, and then when they get it, they can just do this, and it will kind of have to work with it because once you've been, there you go. And it just sits up just like this. So that's what we're going to make today. So I was just honored to be picked in a design team. No, let me start over because I'm just excited. Okay, it was an honor to be picked to be a part of a design team with Justine from the House of Mahalos. And our first project, we were to pick one of her digital kits to make a project out of. And so I picked her Whimsical Florals, which is what this is right here. And by the way, this is a little 3D, you know, they're all popped up on that. So we're going to make that. And then I also picked her nature words. And so between the two, I've been making projects. And so anyway, this is the first one I made. So I'll put that aside. And I am going to use this beautiful paper to make several more. I'm making these for Mother's Day. So I have a show, a craft show, the Saturday before Mother's Day. So I'm really excited about being able to, you know, just make some spring, soft, pastel-y things. So anyway, so this is the one, the page out of her kit, Whimsical Florals, that I'm using today. And so we're going to make one of those beautiful stand-up cards. So I apologize in advance, but this is what I'm working with. And let me tell you, I got this at a thrift store. I'm not kidding you. $4.99. $4.99. Now, the blade it still works, but I really bought it for this because it's a bigger blade. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need, for the card itself, you need one piece of 110-pound cardstock. So whatever color, whatever paper you're going to put on there, whatever will determine. But I'm using this white one because, of course, you know, it's Mother's Day. So you want it to be all nice and pretty. So I am going to unlock this little lever. And I'm going to cut this. We're going to cut this piece of paper on the long side up. You're going to cut it at 5. Because we are going to make a 5x7 card. Okay, so we're going to put this aside. And then we are going to cut this one at 6.5. And then this is just a little extra piece. You can kind of do whatever you want with it. Okay, let me lock this little baby and then fold this over and put it over here. I just prefer a guillotine, you know, like opposed to a... Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to get out my scoreboard. And for the first piece, we're going to score on the long side. We are going to score at 6.5. It's going to be a really fast project. It's not going to take us very long. 7.5. See, and we got this 1-inch gusset. 9.5. And then 10.5. Pretty simple. So you've got 6.5, 7.5, 9.5, and 10.5. And then the next piece, we are going to, let me just mark, let me get this out because I'll be honest, I did not really mark, I don't really know the measurements. I just know what I did. I just know what I did. Okay, so that's what I thought. We're going to do 5 and 6. So on the small piece, we're going to do 5 and 6. Okay. Let me put that up. That's all we need for that. So, what we also are going to need, and you don't have to do this, I just find for cards sometimes it's just easier, but to use double-sided adhesive. So to use your double-sided tape. And so what we're going to do is we are going to put double-sided tape on the bottoms of both of these. And that way it's just over and done with. And so we're just going to put it there. Try to get it to where it's not sticking over. I didn't do a very good job of that, but that's okay. And then we'll put one on here. Make sure that it sticks in there. Okay. And then keep this out because we're going to use it again. And then the other thing that we're going to use too is we're going to use some pop-up foam, double-sided foam tape. So whatever, I have that, the little squares, and then I also have my dots out. So whatever you want to do. Okay, that's pretty much it. That as far as building it. So let's go ahead and crease these and get our card looking like a card. Okay, so see, this is going to fold up like that. And then this is the other piece. Making sure I fold it on the mountain and not the valley. And then this will sit like this on the card. Okay, so first thing we need to do is just go ahead and put it together. But what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and... No, I'm going to go ahead and put it together. So let's see. I have the tape there. So I'm going to pull it towards me. If I can get it off. Plus, I want to burnish that down just a little bit more, just to make sure that it's adhered good. Okay, now I'm going to pull it off, and it'll probably be easier, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull it towards me. And then that way I can square everything up. So what you want to do is you want to fold it flat. And then you want to push it down. Make sure it's even on both sides. And then you have this up, and so you're just going to pull it out as you go. And then you have your pretty box. Very simple. I love that technique. Okay, so now that the box is made, we're going to go ahead and just add our paper. Okay, so this measures, well, let's see, I wrote all my notes down. So this measures, of course, we know it's 5 because that's what we cut it. So this is 5. And then this is 3 and a, let me get my ruler out. I have to do it this way. Get it right, Jennifer. It's 4.5. So we have 4.5 tall and 5 wide. So we're going to do, so if it's 5, so we're going to do, how did I get... Oh, okay, that's different. I'm looking at all my notes over here. So we're going to do 4 3/4 wide and 4 1/4 high, if that makes sense. So we're just going to leave a white border, and so we want to cut our decorative paper 1/4 inch in from both sides. So because this is, once again, 5 by 4.5, look, I did it again. 5 by 4.5, then we are going to cut it to 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so because I want to use this pretty blue in the background, and I cut 2 pieces so I could fussy cut that out and then lift it up. So that's going to be the front paper. But what I want to do is have something pretty in the background that matches. And I printed a couple of pieces, but I hate to cut into these because this one is already cut. So I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to get my Tim Holtz chopper out, and we are going to cut our paper. I'm going to do this way. 4 1/4 high, so 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And then we're going to do 4 3/4. And I'll use this piece for the other. So see how easy, there we go. So it's just going to fit. Oh, it didn't do right. 4 3/4 wide. What did I do? I must have done 4 1/2. I must have done 4 1/2. Let me see. Does this look right? Yes, that looks right. Okay. So there's the back. And so it just gives us a nice pretty border on the back. And on the other one, I did 2 different colors. I did a pink background, and then I did the other. And so on this one, I'm just going to do just that. And I didn't ink the other because sometimes, you know, people just don't always like the ink look. You know, it's kind of, so I'm not going to, I might do just a little bit of ink just to get the edges to where they're not so white. But I'm not going to ink it. Or put my dauber in the ink. In the inkwell. There. Just kind of gives it a little, yeah, that looks good. Okay, so there's that piece. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the front and the top and get all of that cut and done. So I have this little strip right here, which fits perfectly. Nope, it does not. I lied. Okay, so we need one that goes here, and I kind of like the progression of the paper. So this is 1 inch, so we need to do it 3/4 of an inch. Whoops. So 3/4 of an inch. And then 4, which way did I do it? Yeah, I'll take it off this end. And then 4 3/4. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. 4 3/4. And then we're going to cut, this is, I believe, let's measure it with the right measure. I believe it's 1, yeah, it's 2. It's 2 inches, so we're going to cut it at 1 3/4 because we're just going in just 1/4 of an inch. Put those little pieces aside. So we're going to have this one here, and then that one, and then this one on top. So let's go ahead and glue. I'm going to turn it upside down because I can't see very good that way. I can't see very well with that little bumpy thing, so I hope everybody's doing good, and I know that we still have Easter to do, and these would make really pretty Easter cards too. But I was just thinking about Mother's Day, and well, I can't make an announcement, but I was thinking about how I wanted to, but I can't. It'll have to be later. Okay, so let me get this lined up. And it's not perfect, but that's what happens when you can't see very well. Okay, let's burnish that down. And it does make a difference. If you mess up on that one, you're going to have to mess up on the next one because you want them to all be the same. So this one is going to... Did I not cut that at 3/4? That's an inch. Oh, I did it. Did I do it at an inch? Well, silly me. Silly me. Okay, so I'm going to just do the edges, just oh so slightly. I almost went hog wild there for a second. Did you see me? Because I'm just so used to pulling this thing out. And okay, so there's that. Let me go ahead and ink this one. Anyway, I just was thinking about Mother's Day and how pretty this paper is. And so it's for Easter too. I haven't come up with an Easter project yet with it, but I will. I will. Okay, so let's put this one on. And we are just going to be on our way to having a beautiful card. Yes, I was so thrilled to be a part. I have been watching Justine on House of Mahalo for quite a while, actually. And so whenever she put out an invitation for people to sign up, I was like, oh my goodness, I would just love that. And she picked me, and I was one of the 5 that she picked, and I'm very, very honored and excited to be a part of her team. So you will be seeing a lot of projects using her kits and her prompts and just whatever she and would like us to do. Gonna go this way. Is this right? That does. Yeah, the text is right. Okay, well then that's what it is. Then that's what it is. Okay. Gotta get all those straight. They have to line up, even if they're not, if it's not lined up with the paper. Okay, so there's our base right there. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the little pop-up part. So, and I noticed my paper, I have to push that down. There it goes. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to get out the pretty Whimsical Florals and do some chopping. So we know that this is like 3.5, so I'll make it 3 1/4 by 5. So 5 high and 3 1/4. So I'm going to do 3 high. And so I'm looking to see if I can get this flower, because that's what I want to use. So I'm going to have to take some off that end. So it's 3 1/4. And I'm going to measure one more time because I want to make sure. Yes, it's 3 1/2, so I need 3 1/4. Oh, that was 3 1/4. Okay, well, I'm going to use that piece. I'm going to cut another one because I want to make sure that I have enough room. I needed 3 1/2 is what I needed. Okay, that's better. I'll use the other one as as the pop-up. Okay, so this is 3 1/4. Perfect. Okay, and then it's 5 high, so let's do 4 3/4. That's 5. 4 3/4. And then we're going to need a piece that goes on the top, and that's 1 inch. So we are going to cut it 3/4. Because we want all of the little white places to be covered. Isn't the pink pretty with that? I mean, that is just so gorgeous. They print really, really well too, so. Okay, so here is our little thing. So I'm gonna put this one on first. But let me ink the little edges. So what are you guys working on? And just know that when I say guys, I mean everyone. That's like just a general term in Texas. You know, like the Northerners, they say you guys or y'all. You know, well, we say y'all down here. So when I say what you guys are working on, that's what I mean. I'm like, what are y'all all working on? Fun stuff? Are you doing Easter stuff? Are you doing Mother's Day? Is that just not the prettiest you've ever seen? I just think that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of this. Let's ink it up with some art glitter glue. Get that off my finger. I want to make sure that I get it centered. I think that's the hardest part, is to get it centered. Get it centered. Okay. And then we'll put this down. I printed the kit, these flowers, on 65-pound weight card stock. So this will be going on top of the 110. So this is a pretty sturdy card right here. You got 65 pound on a 110. It's just so pretty. I just like it. Okay, so we're not going to put this on until we finish our flower. And so the only thing that I'm going to make pop up on this one is the blue flower. So I'm going to just cut off the top because I can use that with something else. And even the bottom. Put those aside because I can make something else with those. Okay, I'm going to use my little, I noticed that I have to use my little fussy cut tool in order to get it. And I didn't do the stem on the other one because it's just too small. Just too small. Don't make fun of my fussy cutting skills, ladies and gentlemen, because I am not the best. I do my best, but I'm not the best at it. I have to stop talking and so I can concentrate. That's sad. It's so sad, but it is. That's what I have to do. Like, I gotta concentrate. And because the flower's behind it, you know, if you make just a little bit of a mistake, you know, it's not gonna matter at all because there's a flower behind it. And so you're gonna see all that. But I kind of want to get in there so that it's, you can see. Plus I want to make sure I get close enough that you can see the little edges of the dark on the ends. Maybe even a little bit of the pink, right? And the different colors, because they're just so pretty. I like the little pop-up though. It gives you just a little bit of a 3D effect. So it's just as pretty, especially with these florals. Pretty, pretty. I'm really ready for, well, you know what? I'm gonna stop myself from saying that because I love winter. I love fall. It's my favorite time of year because that's when I was born. And I think we're all just drawn to whatever season we're born in. Maybe not, but that's just my theory. But Texas is always so hot, and so I just enjoy winters. I love putting on sweaters. I love walking in the briskness. I just love winters. And so I'm sad to see it go because we actually had quite a season this year, and I'm very thankful for it because we don't always get it. And I don't want to wish the seasons away. You know, I don't want to be that kind of person that just goes, "Oh, I used to be that way. Oh, I'm so tired of this heat. I can't wait till it's cold." And then, I don't like the cold. I can't wait till it's whatever. And it's like, I'm just enjoying where I am. I am just living in the moment. Whatever is going to be brought my way, then I'm going to enjoy what it is. Okay. Sorry that it took so long. I'm sorry it took so long. Okay. That's just so pretty. But I'm just going to do just a little bit on the edges. Just a little bit. I sent Justine my pictures of the first one that I did. And so, well, I'm going to. I haven't yet, but I took all my photos and I will be sending those. And then I'm going to include this video because I think she's going to include that on her site, on her YouTube channel. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Look how pretty that's going to be. Okay, so this is where we need our tape and our dots. And you use whatever you have, but I did notice that, let's see, will this fit here? No. I don't want to get too much on the edge because it kind of shows through. I noticed that on my first one. But, and then you want to make sure it gets to the edges enough. I'm trying to figure out. Gets to the edges enough that you don't want it to, bend. Well, hello, Bubba. Hello, you waiting for the mailman? Can you not bark until I'm done? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me get my scissors here. I'm going to put a dot or something there. Put one there. Will that fit? Probably. I think I did overkill, but that's okay. You know what? I just want to make sure that it's raised. It is raised up well. That it is raised, but it's also supported because that you don't want it to be flimsy. Okay, let's put that on there, and that in the trash, wherever that may be, on the floor. And then we'll put this little skinny one here. Okay, so there. And that might be overkill, but I just think it looks pretty whenever it's really lifted up. I don't want it to be sagging in one area. So then you just take all this off. And you want to put this on before you attach it to the base of the card. Just so you have everything off. Which ones are still sticky? Let's see. Okay, stick, 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 stick. Yes, it is. Okay. And then we're just going to put it down. And of course I have to stand for this because I want to make sure that I get it in the right place. And it's just so pretty. And see how pretty it is all raised up like that? I love it. You could actually do another one and that would be really pretty too. Okay, let me push that aside. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to push this down. Let me go ahead and put some adhesive, double-sided adhesive tape on the back of the card. Because that is what we're going to stick down. Okay, let's just get that a good burnish. Make sure it's nice and sticky. Okay, so then you determine where you want your card and how you want it to pop up. So you have to be careful because the measurements I gave you, it is kind of about like this big, like right here. And I am going to put a sentiment down here, so that's why I'm putting it to the left. You could put it in the middle, you could put it to the right, whatever you want to do. So I'm giving myself enough room to put something down there. And then I'm lining it up. Okay. And then I'm going to take it off because I kind of about know where I want it. So I'm going to take the bottom one off first. And then you're just going to, you know, put it back where you wanted it. And then you're going to line it up. Make sure it's straight. And I'm using the left-hand side as a guide. And then you're just going to stick it down. Looks good. And then what you're going to do is it's already laid there. So all you're going to do is just remove the tape in the back. Let me burnish that one more time. And then remove that. And then push your card down, make sure it's down, and then fold it down and then push it in. And then you are all set. Isn't that awesome? It's just a quick little card, but it's not hard at all. You could corner the edges, do whatever you want. I kind of like them like that. So then when you send it in the mail, you just flatten it out. And this is a 5x7, right? 5x7. So all you're going to do is just put it in an envelope, a 5x7 envelope. They get it. You put your little sentiment here. And then on the back, you can write your message, you know. And then they can just pop it back up and set it up on their desk or their whatever. So that is our project for today. Thanks for popping in. I hope you liked it. Go and give Justine from House of Mahalo a view and a like and a love and a subscribe. And also, if you like what you see, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and also like and leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from or what you're working on. I would greatly appreciate it in helping me build my humble little business. So you guys have a great day, and hopefully you'll be back and to check me out again, checking me out. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and remember, you only know what you know till you know something different. Bye-bye.